and I will re-add the links to the survey in there. It's going to be in English, in French, in German, in Arabic, Spanish, and Portuguese. So that in case you feel more comfortable filling it in your native language, you can do it. And yeah, if you have any questions or concerns or things you'd like to share with me now, I'm totally happy to take them. I don't know, Konstantina, how this is done, if I can answer questions now or if it's for later, but you can also contact me and by either replying to the discourse post, and I'm happy to answer, or you can ask questions in the Etherpad that Konstantina shared, and I'm going to answer them. Well, thanks again for having me here.
Thank you, Hermina. Now we're going to open the floor for any questions that they are in the room, and then we're going to look in the Etherpad if people are watching us from Mozilla and want to ask any other questions. So whoever wants to ask a question right now, Hermina is here, so any questions by anyone? It's the usual silence that people are getting scared. I don't bite. However, I'm going to read one question that is already in the Etherpad. When will the Rebel Alliance be published? Sorry.
Our plans are to print it to have it done by June 3rd, and to have it published by the All Hands. So the All Hands starts on the 17th of June. So our plan is to be able to share it with everyone by that date.
I am just adding your answer for documentation. Okie dokie, anyone has any other questions? Oh, I was wondering, for the people who have already taken the survey, because it has already been shared with some groups, do they need to retake it?
No, of course not. We are going to use that information anyway. It's just that I paid attention to the feedback we received. So it was just about the fact that some people would see, based on the language that was localized in, some people will see 3 questions repeated. So they will see them twice. That was the problem that we needed to solve. So it was quite simple. I just kind of took out the questions that were doubled, the 3 of them, and that was all. So I will ignore the double answers anyway, and we will use those answers for sure.
Cool. And another question that just came in, is the outcome only research, which is interested by itself, or also some actions we tend to take?
Sorry, can you please repeat the question? So is the outcome?
Is the outcome only research, inside brackets, which is interesting by itself, end of the brackets, or also some actions we tend to take?
Oh, of course, it's actions that we intend to take. So the research is the question asker says, it's interesting in itself, but it's valuable only if we act on it, I guess. So the idea is to act on it, and actually, if you feel we didn't, if in 1 year time you feel we didn't, please feel free to reach out to us and ask us what happened with that survey. I'm more than happy to make myself accountable for answering that question.
Okie dokie, I just added you on that. If you feel we didn't, feel free to reach out to Hermina. Cool. Are there any other questions in the room? Nope. Okie dokie. Thank you very, very much, Hermina, for being here. If there are any questions, or if you're watching this call afterwards, there is a discourse topic that is linked on the Etherpad. So if you create any questions in the future, or if you want to add directly your question in the discourse post, feel free to do so, and Hermina will reply to you there. With that, I am going to pass to the next topic, which is Common Voice 100 Hour Sprint. And a lot of you have seen me adding a lot of emails sending over to you, saying to you to participate for the Common Voice 100-hour sprint. If you haven't seen an email coming directly to you, it's because this kind of sprint is currently only directed for countries that they have English as primary use, not like only speaking English, like England or US, for example, but have it as a primary use in their everyday life, like India, where there is a lot of languages being spoken that I cannot even start putting together, but English is a common language that people in India use to interact with each other. And the reason we are doing that, you can read more about that on the discourse post, is because there is a goal about having hours, some specific number of hours, of 200 if I remember correctly, in English by the end of the quarter. And there is also the goal of having also in Mandarin, Chinese Mandarin, but this is not the reason of this campaign. So if you live in one of those countries, please, please, please go on the discourse post. I will also add on the Common Voice topic and the page, the campaign page, and RCVP. Also, it's really cool if you have events. Events really help us to have a diversity of different languages and different ways of people speak. Even if we all might have the same accent, for example, I have a Greek accent, I might speak differently from another Greek person speaking English. So it's really cool. The more diverse the audience you can bring, from ages to gender, to different background, to different areas, the better it is to train the algorithm and the machine in Common Voice. So that's why we want you to have events. Right now we have around 200 people RSVPing for the campaign, which is pretty cool number. But I would love to have more events. Right now we have two. There is one from Yamama. Thank you, Yamama. She's also here, and another one from Bhuvana. So if you want to have an event, plus, no, thank you, in India. Please go and RCVP and add your event link. You are all reps, which means you are all have access to resources, which means swag and budget. In this specific case, you can spend up to $100 for things like food and internet costs that you might have. And of course, you can open a swag request to have Common Voice stickers that they just arrived. Haha. So does anybody have any questions? And I can go on for this.
I have a question, please.
Go ahead.
I was thinking about the best way of holding the event. Like, if you want to record your voice, you need to be like in a calm place. So you mean that by the event that people should record their voices while on site, or just get to know about Common Voice and then record their voice later? I'm just aware about the voice or the noise around when there are a lot of people.
So it depends, of course, on your event. If you are 10 people or 100 people, I would suggest personally to have it on site, but not try to have people to speak closer to the mic and not be like in the car or like in a cafeteria or something like that, because that can, of course, create a noise. My suggestion would be to have it on site, because when people have it on site, they are all together on doing something and they don't forget. When people tend to go home, they tend to forget about what is the action item. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't say to people, oh, go home and do so and continue having fun. However, it can be more interacting if people do it all together at this point. But of course, if you have 100 people, don't ask them to speak all the same time, because it just won't create like a lot of noise.
Here is a good point to follow up with the official team, because I remember at FOSDEM this year, they did record in the big room because they were testing some noise reduction system that was implementing or something like that. Because we raised our eyebrow when we could barely hear each other and people were recording the voice. So probably we should good if we can follow up and post in the Telegram group if we can take out noise from recordings or not. If it's something done, as there is an algorithm for this, or we encourage people to do it in a more silent room or more, you know, quiet place.
So that would be my original, since like that's why actually Anna said it's okay, because we did it on FOSDEM, and FOSDEM had a lot of people, for those of you who know FOSDEM. So I thought it is okay. However, it's a good point. I am gonna reach out to the team, the Common Voice team, and the engineers there, and ask them, hey, we're having all those events. People are asking, should they speak like in in a different room? Like, how should they do that?
Yeah, I would be interested in that as well, because in 2 weeks I will be at a local conference, and if background noise is fine, then I'm happy to have some Common Voice stuff there as well.
Cool. Let me ask, and I will post again back here and on Telegram, so I'll let people know. But thank you very much, Mama, for raising it.
Another thing, so each one participate in recording voice should do verification too. So I asked them 15 minutes recording and 15 minutes verification.
So it's a good, like you can actually see the activity. It says out like how you should do it, like how you should change.
Okay.
But yeah, it's good if you change. Let me also add the activity details here, so you can have them all in one place. But yes, the thing is that we need to verify them. It's the same logic when we are, for example, from QAing to replying on Sumo. There is also need to be a way of triaging, verifying. Otherwise, you never know if that what people reported or people said it's true. So I know that it's not the most happiness place in the world. It's kind of boring. However, it is a necessary evil. And there are some people that love moderating, and I respect their passion.
Okay. Okay, the final thing I want to ask about.
Go ahead, please.
I just aware that you by this sprint you mean like countries that speak English as we in Palestine speak English as a second language. So we actually don't use it in our daily life. We speak Arabic, but we don't have language Arabic or English. So everyone know English and speak English, but like we don't use it actually in our daily life. And I think this is in all the Arab world.
So right now on the Common Voice website, if you go and you create a profile, you can choose like the language of speaking and in which country you're speaking that language. There was a big whole conversation about accents, because for example, it's the same for my case in Greece. People in Greece speak Greek, and the second language they will know and learn and speak, it's English. So you can go and identify the country if you want to, like to say that like, right now you cannot define accent, that's a problem, but I think that you can define the country. So people, when they see the data, they know like where this data are coming from.
I mean, are we allowed to participate in this campaign?
Yes, you're allowed, like actually that kind of allowed. That kind of information is good to have, like any kind of accent is good to have. However, the primary was on primary accents that they need. For example, it's more likely on, on population-wise, Indian people speaking English, and because they're using it more on the like in their everyday life on interactions, that's why we needed India in there, because even though it's not the official language, it's used on interactions, which means that if somebody you want to train the algorithm, if somebody speaks, there is a big possibility that an India will speak English, while there is a bigger possibility that a Greek as a first interaction will try to speak Greek. So that's why countries that have everyday interactions with English were the goal of this campaign. That doesn't mean that other countries cannot participate. All accents are good. However, that's the reason why we need to train them on countries that they speak it on the everyday language.
Okay, thank you.
You're mostly welcome. Okie dokie. With that, and we may stop speaking, I will pass it to Joanna because she's the boss, ladies and gentlemen. And she needs to talk about elections, and that's why she's here.
You never get tired of that joke. Never. Hello, everybody. I'm Joanna, the Reps module owner, and I'm here to present you the results from the latest election for the first half of the year. We changed it from spring because we were previously calling spring because we are more inclusive and we know it's not spring everywhere in this world by this time. So, first half year, it's better presented. And by now you probably got the email and we posted the tweet. We have the reviews. We welcome, some we welcome back and some we glad we are still staying with us. And congratulations goes to Arvin, to Shahid, Mayur, Prathamesh, and Juliana. The latest one is for 6 months as we have this experiment to rebalance the numbers of cases that are elected each session. Uh, I've linked in the Etherpad three posts. One will include what's the next steps for them. They will enter the onboarding process with the actual council and some employees and Mozilla other peers, Mozilla reps peers. We will try to give them all the details they need, the ramp up. We will share what's in our goals for the moment, what's our focus for the next close future, and of course we wait for input from their side. By this moment, I also want to congratulate everyone that participated, and I'm really happy that we had around 8 people nominated. And for those that did not get elected this time, I don't want them to get discouraged. I don't want them to pursue their ideas, their proposals in the reps um, program. And if they are not in the council, they can always push their idea as reps and get the support of the council for their own initiatives. So don't be upset about that. Don't forget you had some ideas, some goals, and let's push them forward too. Michael Kohler, our lovely peer, created already some statistic about the voting time. You can go on the link on line 106 and you can see how many reps we had voted, what the coverage of it, the some statistic between the old reps and new reps, which were more engaging, more active, all kinds of tricks that we could get without taking too much data from us on that. And if you want to see all the logistic related to these elections, I've linked the GitHub that we have in place to organize them. Everything is there, the profile of the candidates, their question and answers, their profiles. So it's very easy to follow all the documentation there. I see we have a question already, and I'm gonna voice it out. Are the inactive reps being logged into if they are active as reps as well? There are a lot of reps who did not vote. Um, so officially, all inactive reps, meaning I don't know what to define by active or inactive. It's a very meta question. We do have some time frames that we consider while we move people to alumni because they are like for a long time. But if you mean those that did not vote might be inactive, yes. Everything that's at this point on the reps portal as a rep had the right to vote. They could either exercise this right or they ignored it. Um, of course, this is why we try to get people engaged, why we try to get you to report stuff to see that you're active, and those who are not active, we try to reach out to see how we can help them, better support, or probably if they are not interested, just to tell them there is an opportunity to be moved as alumni and also be informed from now on, but on a different level, not with voting rights, for example. I think, problem in the statistics. Also, the time of activity is mentioned, and uh, you can see there too. Any other questions? I cannot hear you. I see you voicing like something, but we
Press
cannot hear
no,
you.
we cannot hear you.
I think that was it. It's the only question.
Okay. Well, if you do have questions later or you're still curious about this process, feel free to reach me out all the whole peers body. I'll add a contact in the group, and we are there to reply to your inquiries. Do go into the Discourse course, congratulate the new council members, and let's give them our support to move the program forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Joanna. There's no more topics, but we do have the non-verbal update. Cast your vote for the Mozillian of the month. If you don't know what that is, then you should click it. But a quick TLDR, there is an initiative about voting and surfacing contributions from all over the world. We call it the Mozillian of the month. So anyone can nominate anyone, and then we ask people to vote and say who they actually would like to vote for the Mozillian of the month. In that way, we try to give credibility, and we also try to recognize people all over the world. You people as reps have the right to be recognized as reps of the month, and you also get the swag and everything else. However, other Mozillians don't get that credibility, and a lot of times they're feeling not recognized. So this is a great initiative to actually recognize other people all over the world. If you like somebody, please vote for the person or vote for multiple persons if you like more than one. And don't forget that it goes every month. So next month there's gonna be another nomination, and there's gonna be a chance for all of you to nominate somebody awesome from your community. Any questions? Cool. With that, and with already taking 1 minute from your life further, I'm gonna let you, we're gonna see each other next week. For those of you who are celebrating Easter this weekend, happy Easter, happy good time with your families. I know that the Orthodox folks are celebrating next weekend, so I'm gonna repeat my wishes for the Orthodox Christians, and see you all next week. Keep on rocking.